Alright guys, it's Rod Seller once again. I'm going to do another session of reading from Roswell Alien Interview. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about the body classes of immortal spiritual beings, specifically the physical body classes. But before we do that, let us remind ourselves who we are. Okay? So if we go to page 89, we're going to remind ourselves that Earl said that, personally, it's my conviction that all sentient beings are immortal spiritual beings. This includes human beings. For the sake of accuracy and simplicity, I will use a made-up word, ISBE, because the primary nature of an immortal being is that they live in a timeless state of is, and the only reason for their existence is they decide to be. No matter how lowly their station in society, every ISBE deserves respect and treatment that I myself would like to receive from others. Each person on Earth continues to be an ISBE, whether they are aware of the fact or not. So, there you go. And let's go to page 107 before we get to today's topic. Page 107. Errol explained that ISBEs have been around since before the beginning of the universe. The reason they are called immortal because a spirit is not born and cannot die, but exists in a personal postulatic perception of is will be. She was careful to explain that every spirit is not the same. Each is completely unique in identity, power, awareness, and ability. The difference between ISBEs like Errol and most of the ISBEs inhabiting bodies on Earth is that Errol can enter and depart from her doll at will. She can perceive and select depths through matter. Errol and other officers of the domain can communicate telepathically. Since an ISBE is not a physical universe entity, it has no location in space or time. An ISBE is literally immaterial. They can span great distances of space instantly. All right, and now we will go to today's topic. We're going to go to page 267 in the book. And today we're going to talk about the body classes. If you're wondering what chapter this is on, this is about chapter 10. Remember the last video, I was talking about how evolution by natural selection was science fiction, according to Errol. She said that all life forms in the universe and every other planet were created by extraterrestrial companies. And these companies had high technology, high 3D printers that were probably the size of small towns or even planets. And the planets themselves were terraformed by extraterrestrials. But hey, go ahead, take it or leave it, okay? And if you would like to debate this, if you like to debate what I'm talking about here, why don't you go join Roswell Alien Interview versus Every Other Worldview on Facebook group, okay? All right, so now we're going to go to page 267. We're going to talk about the body classes, okay? So Errol is speaking, 267. As I mentioned, there is a very high regiment and fixed hierarchy or class system of all ISBEs throughout the old empire and the domain as follows. The highest class are free ISBEs. That is, they are not restricted to use any type of body and may come and go at will, providing that they do not destroy or interfere with the social, economic, or political structure. Below this class are many strata of limited ISBEs who may or may not use a body from time to time. Okay, so page 268. Limitations are imposed on each ISBE regarding range of power, ability, and mobility they can exercise. Below these are the doll body classes to which I belong, arrows talking. Near all of the space officers and crew members of spacecraft are required to travel through intergalactic space. Therefore, they are each equipped with a body manufactured from lightweight, durable materials. Various body types have been discussed to fluctuate special functions. Some bodies have accessories such as interchangeable tools or oh gosh, I suck at reading. I pick for activities such as maintenance, mining, chemical management, navigation, and so forth. They are many graduations are creations of this body type, which also serve as an insignia of rank. Below these are soldier class. The soldiers are equipped with a myriad of weapons and specialized armaments designed to detect, combat, and overwhelm any imaginable foe. Some soldiers are issued mechanical bodies. Most soldiers are merely remote-controlled robots with no class designation. Oh my gosh. Sorry guys, I'm not that good of a reader. Alright, so now we're going to what we are. The lowest class are limited to flesh bodies. Of course, it is not possible for these to travel through space for obvious reasons. Fundamentally, flesh bodies are too fragile to endure the stress of gravity, temperature extremes, radiation exposure, atmospheric chemicals, and the vacuum of space. They are obviously longistic. So the limitations of food, deprivation of sleep, atmosphere elements, and air pressure required by flesh bodies that all bodies do not require. Most flesh bodies will suffocate in only a few minutes without any combination of atmospheric chemicals. After 2 or 3 days, the bacteria which lives indirectly and externally on the flesh body causes severe odors to be emulated. Odors of any kind is not acceptable on any space vessel. Flesh can tolerate only a very limited spectrum of temperatures, which in space have the contrastive temperatures of many hundreds of degrees within seconds. Of course, flesh bodies are utterly useless for military duty. A single shot from a handheld electric blast gun instantly turns a flesh body into noxious vapor cloud. ISBEs who have inhabited flesh bodies have lost much of their native ability and power. Although it is theoretically possible to regain or rehabilitate these abilities, no practical means have been discovered or authorized by the domain. Even through spacecraft of the domain travel trillions of years of light in a single day, the time required to traverse the space between galaxies is significant, not to mention the length of time to complete just one set of mission orders, which may require thousands of years. Biological flesh bodies live for a very short time, only 60 to 150 years at most, where doll bodies can be reused and repaired almost indefinitely. The first development of the biological bodies began in this universe about 74 trillion years ago. It rapidly became a fad for ISBEs to create and inhabit various types of bodies of an assortment of nefarious reasons, especially for amusement. This is to experience various physical sensations variously throughout the body. Since that time, there have been a continuing de-evolution and relationship of ISBEs to bodies. As ISBEs continue to play around with these bodies, certain tricks were introduced to cause ISBEs to get trapped in the body so that they were unable to leave again. And this is what we call death. So when we die, as I said on this channel before, when we die, we leave the body. Okay, so this was primarily done to make the bodies appear more sturdier, but they were actually more fragile. An ISBE, using their natural power to create energy, accidentally injured the body. When containing it, the ISBE was remorseful of having injuring this fragile body. The next time they had encountered a body, they had begun to be careful with them. In doing so, the ISBE would withdraw or minimize their own power so that they will not injure their body. A very long and tedious, treacherous history of this kind of trickery, combined with similar misadventures, eventually resulted in a large number of ISBEs becoming permanently trapped in flesh bodies. Oh man, I just added words. Forgive me. Of course, this became a very popular enterprise for some ISBEs who took advantage of this situation to make slaves of others. The result, enslavement progression over trillions of years and continues today. Ultimately, the dwindling ability of ISBEs to maintain a personal state of operational freedom and ability to create energy result in the vast and carefully granted hierarchy or class system. Using bodies as a symbol of each class is used throughout the old empire as well as the domain. The vast majority of ISBEs throughout the galaxies of this universe inhabit some form of flesh body. The structure, appearance, operation, and habitation of these bodies vary according to the gravity, atmosphere, and climatic conditions of the planet they inhabited. Bodies types are predetermined largely by the type and size of the star around the planet which the planet revolves, and the distance of the star, the geological as well as the atmospheric components of the planet. On average, these stars and planets fall into gradients of classification which are fairly standard throughout the universe. For example, Earth is identified roughly as a Sun Type 12 Class 7 planet. This is a heavy oxygen atmosphere planet with biological life forms in proximity to a single yellow minimum low radiant sun or type 12 star. The proper designations are difficult to translate accurately due to the extreme limitations in astronomical of the English language. There are many variants of life forms, as there are many grains of sand on the beach. You can imagine how many different creatures and types of bodies have been manufactured by millions of companies such as bugs and blossoms for all the myriad planetary systems during the course of the 74 trillion years. Forgive my reading. I know I'm not that good of a reader, but if you want to read this, if you want to experience this book as much as you pick up and read it. Like I said, if you want to debate, you want to say, oh, this book is fake or whatever, and you're involved in Scientology and all this little stuff and blah, 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 go on the Facebook group, Roswell Alien Interview versus every other worldview. She thoroughly debunked any chance of a flesh body resurrecting. She thoroughly debunked it. Flesh bodies cannot be repaired. Once a flesh body is used, you have to let it rot away, and you have to get a new one. That's just the rules of what we are. That's why this transhumanism project is going on right now, because I personally think that transhumanism is the attempt of man trying to create their own doll body. That's what they're trying to do. And we want to get out. We want to get out of the flesh body and get to the doll body, and we're trying to regain our power. And these religious organizations such as Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, and all these other people, these people who claim to be of ufology, but they're actually Christians. They're trying to stop us from remembering who we are. They're trying to stop us from remembering our power. They're trying to stop us. They're trying to keep us in this slave thing where you're constantly reincarnated, constantly forced to come back with no memory of your previous life. And the reason why I find this very important, because I want us to be free. We should not be slaves to an unjust ISBE who has all the power. He has all his awareness and we don't. Okay? And but let me be quiet. And like I said, if you want to debate, you want to say, hey, this is fiction, blah, blah, blah. Oh, right, sir, I want to debate you, blah, blah, blah. Well, you're welcome to come into the group of Roswell Alien Interview versus every other worldview. I will gladly, if you have a Facebook account, I will gladly add you to the group. And the only rules is that no gore, as in no beheadings and all that other crap, no porn, no name calling, and just go ahead, present your points. You want to go ahead, present your points or preach or whatever, fine, but I'll gladly counter, and other people who believe in this, they'll gladly counter you too. Anyway, that's all I have to say for right now. This was the body classes of ISBEs. Rod Seller signing out.